Good morning to you guys. Yes, good morning. We are on episode number 102. That's right, 102 episodes. And by the end of the day, we will have 104 in. That's right, we're doing more interviews today. So beat that, Vince McMahon. You say you're the hardest working man in all of wrestling. We're the hardest working podcast in all of podcasting. So beat that.
Amen.
Today, we are with Mr. AR and the host who was hooked on phonics when he was a child, the wrestling encyclopedia, the talking forehead. Well, the used to be talking forehead, Nathan Noss. I'm his executive producer with the most, who books all these awesome talents, Anthony Wagner. So let's just get into it. AR, tell us about you, how long you've been in the business, and go from there.
All right, gentlemen. Yeah, thanks for having me on, Tony. Thank you for having me on, Nathan. Sorry to shuffle up the scheduling. Sounds like it's going to be a busy day for y'all. Should be fun. I'll get to it. I'm Alvaric Reiner, based out of Phoenix, AZ. I started training for wrestling in 2014, and I had my first pro match in the spring of 2015, working primarily for the Arizona Wrestling Federation. I had taken a couple years off, got banged up, and yeah, I've been back at it and been trying to get my name out there in the Southwest and wrestle some solid matches and get some notoriety. It must be working okay because you guys found me.
Yes, we did, and we know a few people from Arizona that we've interviewed on this podcast, like SOS.
Oh, okay, yeah, I know her. I remember she got started up training with the AWF as well. I can't remember how many years ago, but I remember when she had first started up.
Mm-hmm. The multi-talented, lovely Brittany Brooks.
Yep.
Oh, Brittany Brooks, huh? I remember when she started up too. Yeah, she started up with the AWF. She was one of the. Yeah, I don't know exactly how much she told you your story, but yeah, she'd been training for years before she debuted. She started up real young.
Yeah,
that girl's got a lot of energy.
Yeah,
of energy.
True.
Yes, she does.
She's a bouncy, bubbly person, that's for sure.
Yes.
So, every time I see her, she's always hopped up on some caffeinated drink. I'm like, you're too young for that. Stop it. Cut it out. I was like, you need to save that for later when you get more worn and tired.
It's like you don't need that. You're naturally energetic.
Exactly. She's still a child, you know. Of course, when you get old and cranky like me, everybody's a child. But yeah, just like save that caffeine for when you need it. You'll need it later. Don't worry. I assure you.
Exactly.
I was gonna say, trust me, we all know that one.
Yeah.
All
right. So, who were some of your wrestling heroes growing up?
Nobody. I'm my wrestling hero.
That's a great answer.
Great answer.
I am number one my wrestling hero. I do it all in the ring. I am amazing. I'm great. If you've never seen me work, you are missing out. I am the diamond in the rough. The center of the solar system shines upon me, and I reflect its light back sevenfold. So go YouTube Alvaric Reiner versus anybody, and you're in for a treat. Outside of that, as far as when I was a kid and then coming up in wrestling, different guys I like to study, like Kurt Angle, Triple H, Chris Jericho has always been a top favorite as well. Like he was probably my first favorite wrestler as a child. You know, like Bret the Hitman Hart, Mr. Perfect, Shawn Michaels, Rick Rude, all dudes right up my alley. All guys that I can still like, hey, I got 10 or 15 minutes, kill some time. I'm gonna watch some wrestling and try and pick something up. Hey, I'll throw on like some match that I might have watched like 40 times, you know, like say like Mr. Perfect versus Bret Hart. And it was like, yeah, I might have watched it 40 times, but now I'm just like, all right, I'm looking at it a little different way, studying, trying to just pick up something and just notice like from those ultra pro guys that are just amazing. So you can always pick up something. You look at it from a slightly different angle, just trying to pick up little tweaks and little stuff they do within their work. And you're just like, oh my God, I never noticed this, but like it played on my subconscious. So I'm going to steal that and try and implement it my own way. But yeah, I'd say those are my favorites.
Nice. Plus, a lot of those matches do have like rewatchability, where like you're watching it for that, and then like halfway through, you're like, "Wow, this is still really entertaining." Like,
yeah, there's definitely some of that stuff still ages. It just ages like fine wine. Like it never really gets old. Can rewatch it 1,000 times and still be just lost in the moment by the end of the match, and just totally along with the story that they're telling and how they told it.
Exactly. All right. So what are some of your hobbies that you enjoy doing?
Oh, real life stuff. I love hiking in my underwear because it's the best way to work on your tan. Because laying poolside gets boring. So like I like the movement. And fortunately, yeah, living in Phoenix, Arizona, there's no shortage of sunshine. There's no shortage of rocks and hills to climb up. And then as we get more invaded by all kinds of people from California, they care less and less if you're walking around in your underwear. It's just getting weirder out here. Sometimes I'm out there and I'm a tame one. I'm like, oh, here I am working on my tan looking like a weirdo, but you got something else going on. I'm weirdo number 2 out here on the trail today. Not sure how. Yeah, that's a big one. The good old gym, man. The gym's was a lifetime hobby. Definitely wrestling. Wrestling had led me to that, but that's definitely one I'll stick to. Some gym and yoga, man. You gotta make the human body machine work while you can, and put it to the test and keep motoring as long as you can. Yeah, outside of that, I'm like, I like to read occasionally. Like, how boring have I become as I get older?
No.
Oh, real quick though, before we go on though, you got to learn about some of my hobbies, and you had asked me who like some of my wrestling heroes are. I got to know from you guys who are some of your wrestling heroes.
Mine growing up was Hulk Hogan, first and foremost. And then later it was like Triple H, and like in like current day it's like Kenny Omega, just because that guy can wrestle anybody. Like,
dude, that guy's a maniac. I'd have to really work on my hiking to get my cardio up to wrestle that guy, I guess.
Okay, so mine, whole, just like Nathan, a whole plethora of people.
Yeah,
I started out with the Ultimate Warrior, Macho Man Randy Savage.
Oh yeah! Oh God, how did I forget the Macho Man? I'm sorry. That's one of my personal favorites too.
And then
yeah, Hulk and Warrior, great, but Macho Man.
Getting into later in life, it was The Rock, Stone Cold, Mankind. Can't forget good old Undertaker.
Hell yeah.
And current day, much like my counterpart up there, it's Kenny by God Omega, Mr. John Moxley, don't call me Dean Ambrose anymore, and Seth freaking Rollins.
Hell yeah. What's up?
See, I would have picked Seth Rollins because I respect his wrestling, but he definitely needs a personal stylist, because some of those outfits he's been wearing on WWE television makes you think he's been getting dressed in the dark or something. Like,
what are you talking about, man? Those outfits are you can't dress in the dark in those. That's all purpose placed, bro. I was amazed. I was like, yeah, I had watched Mania, and I remember because he had done his entrance, and I was like, hot damn, he's got his Madonna outfit on here for this. And then
Yeah.
I felt bad for Charlotte Flair because she came out. I was like, oh no, Seth Rollins had the bigger like evil queen outfit than Charlotte Flair. Like he stole her thunder.
And you're just jealous, Nathan, that he can share his wife's wardrobe and look good in it.
That is true. Well, she is known as the man, so I mean maybe that.
So
very 2020s of them.
So let's be fair, you know. Stop hating on Seth when he's actually stealing Becky's wardrobe.
As long as he doesn't steal those like disco ball glasses that she wears all the time.
All right, you have a question?
Top 5 indie female wrestlers.
Sorry, dog. That's something I don't pay attention to a ton, honestly, because it's not really like matchups I'm gonna have. So if I'm looking out for stuff, I really is more looking up different matchups I'd like to have, places I'd like to go. Like I've definitely seen some solid girls work through like the Southwest and everything. So I can give you a list on that. It won't be in any particular order. Outside of anime is number 1. She's the best. Brittany Brooks and SOS are both terrific in their own right as well. Anime is better than both of them. Yeah, I think and then the last couple girls AWF have had run through they've had Johnny Robbie's their current champ, and then she just defeated Viva Van. So all those girls are real solid. I haven't watched much of their work in depth though, because they're not necessarily folks I'm looking out to wrestle. And my wrestling time is naturally monopolized by my own selfishness on myself, because like if I decided I'd be number 1 women's indie wrestler.
I like this guy. So
yeah, I was gonna say best answers ever so far.
Let's debut another yet new question, just because I like to be innovative. Top 5 places you'd like to wrestle.
Oh damn. Yeah, I want to get down to Mexico City for sure. I want to get out to Tokyo for sure. I want to get out to New York for sure. I want to actually, like, one of the spots I do want to wrestle is up in like Seattle and get to Washington, and that's mostly selfish, as I want to go visit the temperate rainforest up there. And then a 5th one is I want to get to DFW. Like, it's just unfortunately like Southwest US and all West Coast wrestling, like there's a big geographical like space in between us trying to get to like East Texas and further out that way, where unless you're super known, like trying to get a flight or anything out there is all on your own dime. So I haven't been able to do it, but I got a bunch of good buddies out in Texas and I want to wrestle in front of them. And then, yeah, so Dallas Fort Worth area would be my big number 1 spot, I think, that I want to get to first before some international fair and East Coast fair. But I guess Europe too. Europe as well, especially Der Fatherland, Deutschland. That'd be up there as well. That'll be number 2 right after getting some of those bigger centers in Texas, seeing some old friends.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Well, and I think the one in Washington, Nathan might be able to help you with.
Yes.
I'm all ears, sir.
So
I'm all ears, and my inbox is wide open.
So usually I save this one for the end, but since we brought it up, in about a year, we're going to be starting our own promotion in Pullman, Washington, called Inclusion Pro Wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
And I would love to have you come out and wrestle for us, and we can even work it out where we can pay for your travel and stuff to get you out here. So.
Well, hell yeah, man. That sounds dope. I'd love to go up to Washington. That sounds fun. And like I said, I might stay up there an extra couple days and selfishly vacation and check out some of the sights to see up there. Something a little different than some brown and red rocks and light green cactus. See some dark green trees. Yeah.
But yeah, we can definitely make that happen.
Oh, absolutely. That'd be hella dope. I appreciate that. Thank you, gentlemen, very much for asking me.
Absolutely.
No, absolutely.
Yeah. And selfishly, Pullman's only like 5 hours away from Seattle, so you could always catch a Mariners.
So there you go.
Where's Pullman at on the Washington State then? Is like southeast or?
It's to the east. It's on the border of Idaho.
Okay, so it's out Spokane direction, or?
Yep. Yeah. Just a little. Yeah.
I think it's like an hour away from.
I think Spokane. So.
Oh, cool. Well, then I can be selfish that other direction. Maybe not check out Seattle, but head up to Coeur d'Alene. I heard that's really pretty too.
Yeah, Coeur d'Alene's really pretty too.
Hell yeah! Yeah, I'm inbox wide open, gentlemen. Blah.
Yeah, we'll definitely keep you updated when it gets closer. So.
All right. Well, that was your plug for your company. So now you got a question?
Yep. Top 5 male indie wrestlers, since you said you keep up on that for people that you wanna wrestle.
That was a lie, but this top 5 is easy because it's Alvaric Reiner. Alvaric Reiner. AR Reiner. Alvaric Reiner. List is done.
I said it was best
like I said
ever.
Oh yeah, no, like I said, the center of the solar system shines upon me, and I reflect its light back sevenfold. Nobody can hold a candle to me; it'll get snuffed out by my shine.
I have to like this. Okay, well, I'm almost afraid to ask this one, but we're going to anyway. Top 5.
I bet I'll give you a great answer that you weren't ready for.
Sure
so go ahead.
Top 5 tag teams.
Oh, on the indies or in general?
You can do both, or
okay.
You can mix it.
Well, currently I'm working with a gentleman named Aiden Colt, who's based out of El Paso. He is the heel with the fan appeal, and he's my tag partner. We haven't necessarily settled entirely on a tag team name, but Colt and Reiner together are at least your 10 best tag teams.
I knew that was going to come up.
Yep.
Okay, Nathan.
Okay, so now we got past all the independent questions. Top 5 male wrestlers of all time.
Ooh, all time. We'll go Alvaric Reiner number 1. And I guess Bret Hart, Kurt Angle, Shawn Michaels. I think we'll sandwich everybody with Alvaric Reiner there. Yep.
I feel like I'm on repeat, but again, best answers ever.
Right up until the next answer. Yeah.
That's right.
There's just a new best. I take you higher and higher, baby. Oh, ain't nobody gets you where I can get you.
If you could have one person be your tag team partner from any generation, who would it be?
Oh, Aiden Colt is easy. Like I was trying to get him to be my tag partner for months. I was like, come on, man, we can make some money together. People are gonna love us or hate us, whatever. They're gonna pay us. Come on, baby. So yeah, no, I'm very happy right where I'm at with Aiden Colt as my tag partner. Maybe the one thing that can make that team better is if we got Anime to manage us, because she is the loveliest and best female independent wrestler on the planet.
Yeah. And no, we haven't interviewed Aiden yet. I've been trying to get him, and I haven't gotten him yet, Nate.
No, but we've interviewed people that have talked highly about him. Was what I
Yes.
Oh, he's great.
Yes.
After my 5th entry, we could put him number 6 for best male.
He's an honorable
Independent
mention
wrestler.
right below that.
Honorable
Damn,
mention.
Reiner tag partner, Aiden Colt, honorable mention. Love it. Thank you, gentlemen. See, I haven't fleshed these things out. You're asking me these questions. I'm answering on the fly. I haven't really thought it out in detail, but the additions y'all are making, I love it. Thank you. Thank you for being my sounding board. Y'all are doing wonderful so far. You're podcasting your ass off, and damn, I'm killing it. God, I am good. Thank you.
Okay. Nathan, do you need a minute, or can you ask a question?
Yeah, I can ask a question. So, if you had a dream opponent of any generation, who would it be and why?
I still want to stomp out Mike Camden. If you know who he is, Mike Camden's he's an indie worker. He's based out of San Diego, and I still need to avenge my first ever title loss. Not only did he take my title, but he cut my hair at the time, so I'm still frosted about it. So yeah, that's the match I'd want, so I could beat him.
That would be a pretty nasty match, because I do know who that is.
Oh yeah, no, that's some of my earlier work. Some of my early good work against Mike Camden was outside of losing. It was a lot of fun.
And by doing this podcast, we've actually made a lot of friends in Southern California. We know a few promoters, so we might be able to make that happen.
Yeah.
Last I heard, he was trying to step away again. I think because he's afraid to wrestle me. he's trying to escape before he gets his comeuppance. I'll whoop his ass, pin him 1, 2, 3, then I'll cut his hair.
I was gonna say, the man cut your hair. You need to get some revenge somehow.
Oh yeah.
Damn right. You know what I'm talking about. He's never going back. Look at it, short. Can't grow it out. I'm wearing my favorite podcast hat to cover it up.
Yeah. All right, so let's do a 6-match card. But sir, what would be your ultimate WrestleMania card? 6 matches, any generation, any promotion.
Damn. Oh, hot damn. I think I'd have to pull a bunch of like old repeaters here. I think I'd lead that show off. I'd want oh god, I had it and lost it. I'm sorry.
It's all right.
Who did I want to start that off? Never mind. We won't go order. But yeah, no, I'd want to see a rematch of Angle and Michaels. I'd want to see another rematch of Austin and Hart. I think I'd want Taker versus Triple H on there. Maybe in a Hell in a Cell. I don't know. No special guest referee. Actually, the best women's match I ever saw in my life was the women's Royal Rumble match between Asuka and Becky Lynch. I'd want to see that rematch. And then I think, oh yeah, let's get that's what it was in my head. I'd want to kick the show off, Macho Man versus Ricky Steamboat.
Ooh.
That's how I'd want to start it off. And then I think for the main event, Alvaric Reiner kicking Mike Camden's ass would be great.
Love it.
So yeah, off the top of my head, that's what I got for you.
And to give you an idea, Tony, of who that Mike Camden is, I believe, if I'm right, he wrestled in WCWC for a while. In fact, I think he was tag partners with Hammerstone.
Oh, why are you bringing up Hammerstone? I hate that guy.
Oh, Hammerstone. Okay.
Cool. Yeah, he's a jerk. Like why I'm not more known in the Southwest is because Hammerstone's a jerk. And like, if you just look at him compared to me, he's a little shorter. So like, we all have our flaws and stuff, but he might be kind of a lot bigger or whatever. So And like he puts all that hard work in and shit, but like that doesn't really matter. What really matters is he's a jerk and steals my thunder. I hate him. And I actually have some losses to avenge from him too. So yeah, you can throw him and Mike Camden on that team together, handicap match, or versus me and Colt, and we're gonna whoop their ass because I hate them both and they stink. Ugh. And they think just because all their hard work and their talent, they ought to be where they're at and further in wrestling. But no, I'm gonna hold them down as much as I can for the pin. 1, 2, 3, same time. Got them both.
That makes sense.
Whew.
It does, doesn't it? Reiner wins.
It does.
Makes sense. Makes sense.
Hey, that would be a good catchphrase for you too. Like, like during a promo, just Reiner wins. And just walk away.
Just makes sense. It comes naturally to me. It comes naturally to y'all's thought process because I just look like a winner.
Exactly. All right, Tony, you have a question?
Wow. I'm still a little tossed back by the Hammerstone compared, but okay, yeah.
I'm prettier in the face though. Come on.
Who's the biggest opponent you've wrestled so far?
Like size or name wise, would you say?
Name wise.
Okay, yeah, I just recently wrestled Chris Adonis in a singles match, so formerly Chris Masters. I'd say that would be the biggest singles star I've wrestled against. And then that's his time in WWE. And then the next biggest one will be Hammerstone. And he's a guy currently making lots of waves around the US and in Japan. He's put in a ton of hard work, but he deserves absolutely none of the notoriety and success he's achieved. Yeah. All that hard work doesn't have to pay off. Maybe for me, but not for him. I can't stand him.
So, follow up to that last question then. Were you able to break the master lock?
I never got hooked in it, so I didn't have to. He did attack me after the match and put me in that hammer lock or master lock, and it did hurt. Worst part was instead of just letting me go, which he should have done, because he shouldn't have never put me in the master lock anyways, is he had kind of tossed me to the side, and I fell out of the ring and landed on my butt and totally like bruised. Yeah, man. Like, thankfully, I have a large rump, so like it saved my tailbone. But goddamn, yeah, like I was bruised like all the way up into my hip sockets and everything. Like I was not sitting down properly for a month. And then with my regular work, like a quarter of my job is pause squats. So here I am, like, ow, my bum's all like inflamed and sore and swollen, and how am I supposed to hold my pause squats like this? Like shit, man. So he's a jerk too, and I hate him. Although it be the biggest name I've ever wrestled in a singles match. Yeah. I beat him. I won. 1, 2, 3. Didn't cheat at all. Winning just comes naturally to me.
All right, Nate.
So first, before I ask the question, I want to say any promoter that's listening to this, you need to book Hammerstone and AR because that's money right there. I mean, it's already got a story to it. So, I mean,
it is a years-long story. He's been a jerk to me for a decade, ever since I started. Like I said, I'd be so much further in wrestling if Hammerstone just didn't exist and occupy the same region as me, and it just wasn't who he is, being all big and muscly and hardworking and shit. Yeah, if it weren't for that, I would be plastered all over whatever posters he's plastered on. So I hate him because he breathes.
So, what's the best gimmick match you've ever been in?
Oof. Oh. Well, I was a special guest referee in a cage, and I got a little fast and loose with the rules, and I made it so the cage was not allowed to be used as a weapon. So that was fun. That was recently. Yeah, I was injured in my bum, from Chris Adonis, so I couldn't wrestle. So I pulled up referee duty because as a licensed official for the state and the best referee you could imagine, naturally, like best wrestler you could imagine, I'm also the best referee. But
of course.
So I refereed a show. Yeah, no, so you guys understand the best. Just look at me, you see it. But so yeah, naturally I'm just the best referee, whether I prepared for the match or not. But the whole show was in a cage. And I'm like, well, if I'm going to referee, just because we're in a cage, like, let's mix it up. You guys don't get to use the cage. Ha ha. That was a fun one.
Completely off, too, because anybody in a cage thinks, I can throw somebody into this. And you're like, nope, can't do it.
No. I mean, we're having calling it down the middle, a nice, easy match. Well, not easy, but it was rough for them. Easy for me because I was just reffing. So I didn't have to get hurt. But yeah, that was a fun one. Yeah, outside of that, I don't know, gimmick match, there's always something that hurts in there. It's something you never expect. Where it's just like, yeah, you're like, oh God, this coming up, like this is gonna be terrible. Like, oh, all right, that sucked, but like I'm gonna make it through, and then something stupid and little will catch you, and you're just like, what the fuck, man? Bleeding all over now. What the hell was that? Like I got hit with a bag of marshmallows. How am I bleeding? How is this what got me?
Hey, those marshmallows can be sharp on the corners, you know.
Something, dude. I don't know. It's just like where did this come from? I'm hurt and I'm bleeding. I got hit with marshmallows. I don't know what's going. Do you have razor blades in the marshmallows? No. Completely unopened marshmallows.
All right.
So I feel better.
What's the best advice that your trainer has given you, and do you still use that advice today?
Oh man, let's see. No, so the guy who trained me is Lawrence Tyler. He's a Triple X Lawrence Tyler. He's trained like a lot of the people that we've been mentioning out of Arizona. Like he's had a big hand in training all of us. We all owe him a lot. Like he goes out of his way to show up and give his time to train us aspiring folks and give us pointers. But yeah, definitely. Like it sounds stupid and simple, but some of the like, yeah, be yourself. Don't try and be somebody else because you can cherry pick elements of like I said, like, oh, my favorite wrestlers. It's like I'm not trying to be any one of them. I'm trying to cherry pick different stuff from them. Like, all right, does that work for me? Does it not? Will I keep this? Will I throw it out? But like you can't just say like I love Mr. Perfect. I love watching his work. I love how he works. But it's like I can't be Mr. Perfect better than Mr. Perfect was. There's just no way. But conversely with that is nobody can be Alvaric Reiner better than I can. So like his advice there is like, yeah, be yourself, be your own individual person, your own individual worker, cherry pick what you like, what you don't like, and make yourself out of that. And yeah, be true to yourself and be yourself and project who you are out there in the ring. Because nobody's going to be a better Alvaric Reiner than me. Especially like day to day, minute to minute, second to second, whether it's curtain to curtain in a match or here sitting talking to you guys in a podcast, is nobody can do me like I can. Is not going to happen. So don't try and be somebody else. Steal some of their stuff, tweak it, make it your own. And yeah, be yourself, be your own character. Like we live in a society that's all this super nostalgic and everything, so you can play to that. But if you don't have a genuine like comfort in yourself, and I'm going to go ahead and project myself, I'm going to force myself down your throats in a loud fashion, like you can love it or hate it, I don't care, but you're going to react. If you don't have at your core like this is me and this is my genuine self, people are going to pick up on that, and they might not know why. It could be very subconscious, but they'll know you're fucking bullshit. because it's just not genuine. They'll know it's fake. But if it starts with like, no, this is me, this is an extension of me. This might be me turned up to 11, but at the core, this is genuinely who I am. Like it's going to resonate with people more than ripping off any famous wrestler ever could.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Well, I have to say this. Normally, it's our other co-host, Big Buddy Dunn, that says this, but that was the first because most people I have asked that, as like a wrestling thing. But I think your answer is a wrestling thing, but it's also a life lesson too, right? Like, because you can only be who you can be, right? Nobody else can be you. So,
Yeah, dude. No, from like a just everyday life, like who I am as a real person is like, yeah, there's like I forget the infinitesimally small odds of like, yeah, just when you get into somebody's DNA, like your combination of your chromosomes and DNA and your particular billion little allele sequence, like the impossibility of like just who I am based on that and like who each of you are just based on your own DNA sequence. Like it'll never be repeated. Just in billions of years, it can never, that particular sequence will never be repeated. So you're your own person. Just let yourself be your own person.
It's a great lesson. So my question is, how did your finisher come to be?
Ooh. So my current finisher, I use a sit out power bomb. And how did I came about that? It was a lot of soul searching, and especially like I started in wrestling, and like I said, how wrestling led me to the gym is my early work. Like people said like, oh yeah, it's skinny Reiner. And then I started like, I stepped away from wrestling and reevaluated like, what can I get out of wrestling? What do I want out of wrestling? Like, where do these two things meet? Where's their distance? How do I make up the distance? And the easiest thing for me was dedication to some diet and gym, put on some size, put on some muscle, put on some look. I'm not completely scrawny yet. I joke I'm just big enough to not look small. I'm not actually big. But yeah, rededicating myself to the gym and then coming up with the power bomb finisher was just like, yeah, what fits? What can I do to lots of people? What looks good? What do I do good? What do I do safe? Even though fuck them, I'm drop them on their head. 1, 2, 3, bitch, we're done. But yeah, so I come up with that one. It was just a fun one to do, and yeah, picking up people in training, I was like, oh, it's a lot easier than I thought it would be. So rolling with that, it's got good reaction and good feedback from everybody who's seen it. So sticking with that one for now.
Very nice. All right, Tony, you're up.
All right. Well, this next question I learned something new about last night, so we're gonna roll with it with there. So I used to say my host and co-host because they like to be so sticky and their fingers are so sticky that they like peanut butter. But we just found out recently that one of my biggest influences in wrestling loved peanut butter, and that's Macho Man Randy Savage. So if Mr. Oh yeah likes peanut butter for a snack, sir, what is your favorite cookie or snack?
Oh, my favorite cookie's the cookie. But I actually really do dig peanut butter. I have a little bit of a problem. Sometimes I'll just grab a spoon and a glass of milk and just spoon out peanut butter. It's like a lot of times it's my lazy nighttime snack is like, oh, I got some sugary sweet peanut butter and a glass of milk so I don't get too dehydrated. So yeah, that's funny. Yeah, you brought up peanut butter and I'm like, I feel like I'm getting attacked here. Like my current jar of peanut butter is half eaten. I think my reserve jar is sitting up there safe for now. But yeah, I'll go and get the big like tub of peanut butter and then just kind of all right, sip on some milk. especially if I don't feel like really eating. Because God, sometimes eating can be a chore. The worst is like sit there and eat a whole meal, and I'm like, well, I want to be done eating, but I'm still very hungry. It's a little complaint, but in my life, it's almost a daily thing. But dude, yeah, peanut butter is dope. I love peanut butter. Love peanut butter cookies. Chocolate chip cookies are the best cookies, though.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, other snacks. I like carrots. I try and replace like carrots or chips with carrots, and you hit some like queso dip with your carrots. That's good.
Ooh, never thought about that. That actually sounds kind
Yeah.
of good.
Yeah, no, because you get, especially you can get like the carrot chips, and they're all wavy. So I even like it scoops good like a chip, and you get a nice satisfying crunch. You're missing out on the salty sweetness, the salty goodness, but at least for a leaner snack, it helps out. And then yeah, any meal centered around chicken is always a winner.
I think I'm
Just
gonna
always a
have to
winner.
try the carrots and queso dip now.
Oh hell yeah! This is not the best, healthiest queso dip, but the jalapeno cheddar Frito in the little
Oh,
metal can. That shit's dope.
yep, yep.
Yeah, pop some carrots in. You will not regret.
So, in honor of our co-host, who's a manager in Southern California, top 5 managers of all time.
Oof, man. Paul Bear, Paul Heyman, Miss Elizabeth, um, Sherry Martell's up there too. She's great. Yeah. Um, damn, I really love MVP as a manager as well. I think he does a really good job.
I would agree with that.
I'm really surprised I was able to pull out 5 that quick.
You did that really well.
Yeah, hang on a second. I'm gonna pat myself on the back. I would have never guessed in a million years I could have rattled that off that quick. Shit. Go me. Damn.
Yeah.
All right. Well, here's another one of our new questions we just broke out. Your so it's a two-parter. What is your pre-match and your post-match routine?
So definitely pre-match I like to hit some good old body weight squats, make the legs work, make them feel loose, a little bit of stretching. Most of my stretching routine I kind of keep it centered around yoga. When I'd stepped away from wrestling and was pretty banged up, I had found yoga as a good way to, because I wasn't allowed to work out at that time, to keep the heart rate down. So like gentle yoga was nice to like, okay, we're working on some flexibility, some stability, little core and posture work. It just helps everything out. So yeah, like my stretching stuff will be like some forward folds and downward dogs and different butterflies and some seated postures. But yeah, the good old Hindu squats and yeah, some push-ups. I'll usually pace around a lot, and then yeah, right before we get heading on out is yeah, I got this giant schnoz, so I definitely try and blow my nose real good to clear it out so I can try and breathe out there. And then post match is God, I sweat like a fiend. Like I sweat like Brock Lesnar and shit, man. Another all time great. But I sweat copiously. So post match I bring a couple towels with me in my bag. So yeah, post match I usually wrap myself in a towel and start trying to wipe down. And if there's a beer nearby, I love hitting that. Just a nice cold one after a match is great. And then probably a little bit more stretching because something tightened up, seized up, and maybe spasming. So yeah, middle age hits hard, and then the wrestling hits hard too. Oof. And then the two in concert, just pain.
So, what's the craziest match you've ever been in?
I mean, it was a match that started like 5 years back. That kind of started. All right, I'm starting to like accrue some injuries and getting banged up. It was a triple threat tag match where it was me and an older partner of mine, Christopher Landon Anthony Streeter, or Class. Me and him were partnered at the time. We were the heels in the match, and we were running our mouths to start. And the two good guy teams had enough and kind of jumped us from behind. Couldn't have done it from the front. But so I got clipped in the temple. Like first thing out the gate for the match, I get hit, bam, in the temple. Everything goes white. It's like, fuck, can't see shit, and that hurt. Oh, kind of like eyes come back too. First thing I'm thinking is like, God damn, that hurt. Oh, we're just starting. Me and my partner get shot off to the ropes because these jerks are all double teaming us still. The damn ropes snap. So me and him both hit the ropes same time. They snap. Like, fortunately, we're running properly, so we don't go head over heels and break our necks out the ring. But we land and like kind of look at each other and like, you good? Yeah, I'm good. Like roll out the ring and just like, all right, here's our like triple threat tag. It's for the tag titles. So it's like a semi main event thing. Like, all right, we're like 1 minute in and the ring's fucked. Like, all right, we're going to keep going now. But so I didn't notice till after the match, but the white light was persistent on my right side where I got hit. So after the match, I'm backstage, and it's like I got like somebody's got a welder's torch off in the corner of my eye that just won't go away. This is bright white in my vision. After like 45, like I was freaking out. I was like, I think I'm gonna have to go to the hospital. Like something's up with my eyes. Kind of chilling. Like 45 minutes, it went away. I'm like, all right, well, I'll ignore that and move on with my life, I guess. But so that was the start of some getting banged up there. But yeah, I guess it was my retina detached and kind of went back on its own. So I always look back at that and I'm like, yeah, my retina detached like out the gate, and then like the very next thing is the entire rope snapped and the ring's all shoddy, and all right, we're supposed to go like 20 to 30 with this, and we got a lot of moving parts because it's a triple threat tag. So that was we got through it, but yeah, that was a scary one. That was wild. And then yeah, after I was just like, I don't want to go to the hospital. I don't want to go blind either.
I don't blame you there.
Yeah. So that was a wild one. That one sticks out. What about you guys? What's the wildest match you guys have ever seen in person?
Well,
I'll start with you.
I've done commentary, at a training school, and the ring was here. I was like right next to it, and the crowd was on this side. Well, the guy and there was a trailer park down the road. That's an important part to the story. So
the guy, always adds spice.
The guy in the ring calls everybody in the crowd trailer park trash and tells them to go home down the street. They all want to get to him, and then I suddenly realize that they're going to have to go through me because I'm right in their path to get to him. And so I'm in an electric wheelchair, so I take off like a bat out of hell trying to get to the locker room as fast as I can so I don't get trampled by a bunch of people coming towards the ring.
Oh, shit. Starting a riot.
I was like, a little warning would have been nice. You know what I mean?
Yeah, dude.
I could have like moved out of the way or something before.
Why are you trying to use my handicapped ass as a shield from the mob, bro? You didn't even give me a warning. You didn't ask me.
It's like they'll take him out. They don't give me more time to get out of the way.
I don't have to run faster than the bear. I just got to run faster than you.
Yeah. All right, Tony. So what's the craziest match you've ever seen?
The craziest I've ever seen was on TV because I've never gotten to see anything that crazy in person. But the
knock on wood.
The craziest match I've seen on TV, I would have to do that exploding, non-exploding death match in AEW with John Moxley.
And
Kenny
a couple years back, right?
Yeah.
Oh, the ring's supposed to blow up, and here comes Eddie Kingston to shield his buddy, and then it's like all of a sudden, where was the explosion?
Safety first.
Okay, but there's safety, and then there's like explosions for a 2-year-old, and that's kind of what
fell flat, huh?
Yeah, just a little.
The craziest disappointment you've ever seen in a wrestling show, huh?
Yep.
Too bad. Was it a good match the rest of the way, at least, though?
It was. It was.
That was good. Like, at least you have that. Just don't remember.
Like,
just cut the tape right before the lack of explosion.
And the bad part was apparently they had done some stuff during rehearsal, where it worked perfectly. And then literally, like at the end, it looked like two sparklers, like Gilbert, when they did that in the WWE, that like shot out of the ring post.
Snakes and sparklers are all I like.
And even the guys in the ring are kind of looking up at the explosion like, what are we supposed to do now? Like, that it was supposed to be bigger than that.
Well, that's it, everybody. Go home now. Nothing to see here. That's the show, folks. Bye.
So, all right, Tony, you're up.
Oh, sorry. Where can we find you on social media?
I've got Facebook and Instagram, Alvaric Reiner. If you just Google that, you'll find some YouTube stuff, something else on that, some stat sheet stuff on Google. I know that, but Facebook and Instagram, I am terrible at posting. My content's great, as you've noticed. It's fun.
Yep.
I just need to make some more of it. That is for sure. It's not been a good month for it. Let me tell you, my brain is melted. I've been flashing baseball signals in my sleep. Just laying on the floor and just like holding up outs. I was like, well, at least I was holding up 2 outs. It's not 0. It was a happy. Well, yeah, no, hopefully, yeah, when baseball winds down, the schedule gets a bit more regular. The summer will lighten a touch and get back to making some videos, especially hopefully get to do some stuff with Colt. And been having a blast doing tag stuff with Aiden Colt for sure.
Very nice. So, what's your future goals in wrestling?
Honestly, it ties into what you had asked earlier about like cities and places I'd like to wrestle. Is the big thing with wrestling for me is, one, I want to have some fun with it. Like I want to do stuff that I enjoy. I don't want to work for like assholes who aren't going to pay and going to try and have me do shit that ain't true to me. So it's like I want to have some fun with it, and I want to go some places. And yeah, definitely hit up like Texas and across the coast and up north and getting out international. Just like wrestling's a weird little thing, but there's some opportunities for it to take you places, and I'm trying to. Not that wrestling owes me anything, but it's definitely like I feel like I owe myself to go out there and see like, hey, what can I get out of wrestling? Because I think it's more than what I have so far. Because I'm so damn good.
Of course.
Okay, so in the next few minutes, and this has been an excellent interview, by the way. You've kept us laughing.
You don't need to tell me. I know. I was there. Thank you, though.
What is your next couple of matches coming up? Do you have anything coming up here in the near future?
Oh yeah, I've got. So it's pretty light through the rest of July and August, but Arizona Wrestling Federation's got a couple shows on the 29th. They are running a show. The venue, I forget exactly, but it's a bar venue. I think it's going to be an outdoor show. But I don't know who my opponent is there. Haven't been told a lot of any forward plans with that, but that's fine. I can show up day of and put on some 5-star match where I whoop their ass and win. And really, it'll just be 5-star because I'll be there, getting off that heat from the center of the solar system, baby.
That's right.
But yeah, the 29th of July is the next big one for AWF, and then following that is the 26th of August. My eyes are kind of closed to the future much further, but definitely when I have some more availability, I want to run back out to Cali. Been working for Lucha Puroresu out there. Those guys have been real good to me, and that's been a lot of fun rolling out to their stuff's been in it's been in just south of LA. I forget all those there's so many city names out there, but just south of LA proper. That's been fun going out there with those guys. I don't know their next particular date, or else I plug it. I know I can't make it. The baseball in the way.
Oh, yes. All right, Nate, go ahead.
So I actually have one more crazy story that I think you'll find entertaining. So I was up at a flea market up in Hillsboro in Oregon, and I was sitting in the crowd, and my buddies were wrestling in the main event. And so they called me in the back, and they're like, but they didn't tell me they were wrestling in the main event. So they called me into the back, and they're like, we want to put a cookie sheet behind your back because you have the wheelchair, and we can hide it back there, and then when we have our match, we'll come and get it. Mm-hmm. Again, they didn't tell me I was in the main event. They were in the main event. So I'm sitting in the hot sun in a flea market with a cookie sheet behind my back for like 3 hours. Going, come on. You guys can come out anytime now.
Oh, man. So when they came and grab it, didn't rip off any skin, did it?
Actually, a little bit, yes.
Ugh.
Ow.
Oh.
Yeah.
And so afterwards, I went to the back, and I'm like, listen, I love being involved. I don't want to stop, but next time a little warning would be nice. You know, if you told me it would be in the main event, I could have found somebody to put it, behind there when it got closer.
Right? We could have stashed the cookie sheet. I could have gone to the bathroom right before the main event. And then, yeah, I didn't need this shit from the start of the show back here. Yeah, that's fine.
All right. So now we're going to do a little housekeeping and our sponsors and a good buddy of ours. So as we've been talking about, our illustrious missing co-host, Miss You Big Money, he is trying to start an online training facility. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. You can join the Big Money Compound for $25 a session, $150 a month. It is online training to become a professional wrestler, a referee, a timekeeper, a ring announcer. With that being said, he's really trying to get this up and running. He needs your help. He needs students. He needs people that are wanting to refresh their wrestling skills. His very first trainer for this first online class is going to be none other than 23-year vet, a man who has wrestled a WWE Hall of Famer not once but twice and beat him not once but twice, Rey Mysterio Jr., but the guy that beat him is none other than SoCal Crazy. He will be the first online trainer for the Big Money Compound. You can, if you want more information, you can find Big Money Compound on Facebook, Instagram, Big Money Dodge on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Twitch, Boom Shasta on Facebook and on Instagram, or you can contact Steve Dodge on Facebook.
And then our other two sponsors are the CARE program, which stands for Community Action Reaching Everybody. And to get a hold of the lady that's in charge of that, you can get a hold of Becky Bernhardt on Facebook. and Bruce Nichols Painting for all your painting, pressure washing, and lead removal needs, and you can find him on Angie.
All right. And we want to again thank AR for joining us tonight, or this morning. Sorry, used to evening interviews.
Not enough coffee yet, huh, Tony?
Not enough coffee yet. For Nathan, for myself, and geez, guys, we'll be back in about an hour for our second interview this afternoon. Yes, second of 3 interviews. So until then, we'll see you guys soon. Thanks. Bye.
Thank you very much.